Hey Yuki, do you want to do my manga video with me?
I want nothing to do with this stupid weeaboo shit. Kill yourself. Also, I think you suck.
That's rude!
Haha.
How could you be so rude to me, your owner, who loves you?
Hey guys! Oh shit.
Ha ha ha. You can't catch me now.
Yuki!
No, stop.
I'll just come over here with you.
Okay, I will shush now.
Hey guys, AlternativeBriggs here. I know it's been a month or so. I had to move short notice. We got all my stuff in here. It's all looking pretty dope. So, got 3 bookshelves now instead of 2. So lots of room for new investments. The reason I haven't been making videos for the past month or so is just because I was moving. And also because I'm right in the middle of a big court battle, legal battle.
Ha ha ha.
Yuki, please, why? Anyway, I just got a lot going on. It's pretty crazy and it makes me pretty sad. So, I haven't been making videos and I'm sorry. You guys deserved at least an update and I did not provide you with one. So that's my fault, but here I am. I'm back, ready to share some manga. So let's just get straight into this manga collection video. Hope you enjoy, and yeah, hope it's not too long because I've got a lot of books here that we need to cover, so see ya on the other side of the camera. Okay, so here we have the first shelf of manga, including Yuki, who will not leave this shelf for some reason. Actually, right above this shelf, we have the One Piece box set 1 with volumes 1 to 23 in them. I'm not going to open that because you've probably seen it all before. I don't have the rest of the box sets yet just because One Piece isn't really at the top of my list to read, but I did enjoy 1 to 23. I thought it was pretty good for a shonen manga. Read it if you're into friendship and adventure and all of that nonsense. Okay, now here's the shelf again. With little Yuki. Hi, Yuki. Hi. Okay. Starting off here in the corner where it's dark, we've got Guardians of the Louvre by Jiro Taniguchi. I've gone over my thoughts on this one in a past video. I think it was a haul. Jiro Taniguchi is an old school mangaka. I think he was writing in maybe the 1960s. Please don't quote me on that because I really don't know. Maybe the 70s. Either way, this is his book that he did for the Louvre Museum. He went there, studied for a while, and wrote this manga about it. It's short, it's sweet, it's very psychedelic, and it's in full color, so that's nice. Okay, next up I've got The Ghost in the Shell, Volume 1. I don't have the rest. Haven't read that yet. Not a huge Ghost in the Shell fan. But I will be giving it a read at some point. Okay, next up, we got Blame, the Master Editions 1 to 4 by Tsutomu Nihei. I have also not read this one yet, because I'm waiting for it to finish releasing in English. I think we only have 1 or 2 volumes left to go before that's done, and then I will read it all. And next here, I've got Dragon Ball, the full color editions, 1 and 2 of the Saiyan arc, and then 1 and 2 of the Frieza arc. So I'm missing quite a few. Dragon Ball, one of my favorite mangas of all time. Had to have it in full color, so I picked up those for pretty cheap. I flipped through them. They look really nice, so if you've never read Dragon Ball before and you're wanting to read it in color, definitely pick that up. Okay. Right next to that is one of my all-time favorite manga, or graphic novel, or really anything that I've read of all time, and that's Nijigahara Holograph by Inio Asano. This book is fantastic. Don't go into it expecting the story to be just handed to you, though, because it is very obscure. It's very hard to figure out what's going on your first read through. It's meant to be read several times. So, I mean, there's a bunch of stories going on, crisscrossing timelines, things that Asano just does not tell you, or he doesn't throw anything in your face. So it's a story you really have to just piece together yourself. The art is beautiful, per Asano. And, yeah, I don't know. I just really love this book. I've read it a few times now. We'll keep reading it probably for the rest of my life. Okay, just to clear up the elephant in the room, yes, there may be some black dots on the screen. My camera is broken. So basically I'm just a train wreck at this point, but moving on. Next we got A Distant Neighborhood by Jiro Taniguchi, another Taniguchi work. This one I found to be quite a bit better than Guardians of the Louvre. So check that out if you're a fan of older manga series. Okay, the next to that we've got Red Snow by Susumu Kaisu. Oh my god. By Susumu Kaisumata. Wow, that was a mouthful. This one I have not read yet, but it's another old school manga, so one rainy day I will pick that one up and give it a read. Okay. And then another Jiro Taniguchi work, The Summit of the Gods, 1, 2, and 4. I'm missing 3 and 5. So as soon as I get 3 and 5, I will read that. I'm in no hurry to get them because they're kind of expensive. Beside that, it's Ode to Kirihito, Part 1 and Part 2 by the god of manga, Osamu Tezuka. It's not my favorite Tezuka work, but it'll do. Okay? It'll do. Next to that, Ayako by Osamu Tezuka again. And next to that is MW by Tezuka again. Both of these are pretty good. All of these are pretty good if you like old manga. They're all very different. MW in particular is really weird and really dark, so prepare yourself. Okay, next to that I've got the Barefoot Gen or Barefoot Gen by Kaija Nakazawa. Hardcovers 1 to 4. Those are the only ones that have been released. I believe this was the first manga ever published in English, and it is basically about Hiroshima and the trials of the main character during that disaster. So, heavy stuff. Real heavy. It's really old too, so. But look at that. That's some cool art though. Okay. Next to that, I've got all of my Yoshihiro Tatsumi works. I've got Fallen Words, a gift given to me actually by Manga Hoarder, so thank you Manga Hoarder if you're watching this. Goodbye, and The Pushman and Other Stories. I have read this one because it's the first one that I got, and it was really good, so looking forward to reading these other two. Again, older titles. This entire first shelf, I must add, is mostly the stuff that I have that's like older, so just so we're clear on that. And then to the right of that is Stargazing Dog by Takashi Murakami. I did a review on this. It's one of the first videos on my channel. A really good book that not a lot of people know about. I don't think I saw anybody talking about it until I did that review on it, so pick this one up if you haven't heard of it. If you haven't read it, give it a read. It's really sad. It's a sad story about this poor little doggo. Poor Happy. In the end, he was a faithful, faithful doggo. What a good boy he was. Okay, moving on. Okay, here's shelf number 2. It's gonna be really easy because it's basically all Dragon Ball, the complete series in the Vizbig form. Again, one of my favorite manga series of all time. I grew up reading this. Well, I didn't grow up reading it. I grew up watching the anime. It's one of my fondest childhood memories, and I shall never forget it. Okay, next to that, I've got Vagabond 1 to 2 in the Vizbigs. Haven't read it yet. Next to that, we have a nice Gengar plush, courtesy of my boyfriend. It's not mine. Okay, and here's the next shelf at the top. I've got Battle Royale, the Ultimate Editions 1 to 3, 4 and 5 are of course impossible to find for a decent price. But Battle Royale is a classic seinen manga series. It started as a novel, later became a movie, manga, etc. The manga is the goriest thing I have probably ever set my eyes upon, but it's a pretty good story. I would recommend it to anyone who is into more mature gore fests. Next to that, I've got Gyo and Uzumaki, both by Junji Ito. They're horror manga, so, I mean, you get basically what you expect. They're really creepy. Really good, though. Next to that, I've got Erased 1 and 2. I have seen the anime. I watched it a few weeks ago, and it's pretty good, so Hoping the manga will be the same. Then I've got Bride Story 1 and 2. Have read parts of it, but will read more when I get more. And Emma, both by Kawamori. Beautiful artwork in both of these, by the way. This artist really knows what she's doing. And they're very unique stories. I really liked both of them. They take place in entirely different time periods, with entirely different characters from entirely different cultures, and she does them both so well. Have not completed either series, though. Just a heads up. Next, I've got The Isolator. It is a light novel. I started it. I could not get into it because the writing was so bad. And then I've got Vinland Saga 1, 2, 3, 4, missing 5. I've got 6, 7, 8, and 9. Up to date, just missing volume 5. Vinland Saga is one of the greatest series of all time. It's about Vikings, yada yada yada. If you haven't read it, go read it now and definitely buy it, because I know at one point they were thinking of canceling it because of sales. So, if you're into seinen manga, if you like Berserk, if you like Battle Royale, definitely look into Vinland Saga because it is really good. Then I've got Gundam The Origin 1 and 2. I need to get the rest, but they're very expensive. Rightfully so, though, because they're beautiful. Very high quality paper. Very high quality cover. So, I'm looking to get the whole set eventually. Okay, and then we've got Blade of the Immortal, Omnibus 1, 2, and 3. It's a series I won't be reading anytime soon because it's going to take Dark Horse forever to finish releasing them. But once it's a little further along, I will peek into it and see what's up. Next to that is Planets by Makoto Yukimura, by the same guy who did Vinland Saga. It's a story in space. It's hard sci-fi, so something that could potentially happen in our future. It's really good. Not as good as Vinland Saga, but it had me hooked from beginning to end. It's a great character drama. And next to that I have Fruits Basket 1 to 7. Not the complete series, but I'm not a Fruits Basket fan. I really only have this because I used to love it, and I consider it to be a classic as far as shoujo is concerned. Not really my cup of tea, though. Okay. Then I've got The Psychic Girl 1 to 3, older series. Haven't read it yet. Mermaid Scar, another old series by Rumiko Takahashi, the person who did Inuyasha, Ranma Half, etc. Okay, 20th Century Boys 1 to 6. I have read all of these. I have read almost the entire series, if not the entire series, a long, long time ago, but it really deserves a reread because it's so good. Naoki Urasawa is just such a good storyteller. I cannot stop reading once I start reading one of his series. Next to that, I've got All My Darling Daughters by Fumi Yoshinaga. It's just a collection of short stories featuring women. It was alright. Then I've got Battle Royale, Angel's Border. It's, again, kind of just like a spin-off type of collection of stories. It's meh. Okay, then I've got Biomega 1 to 6 by Tsutomu Nihei, the same guy who wrote Blame, that I have not read yet. I have read Biomega, though, and it's very good. It kind of falls off toward the end, but the art is always phenomenal. I love what this guy can do with his artwork, and the gore and everything in it is awesome. So, hey Yuki, what are you doing here? You on this shelf too? You hanging out on this shelf too? Then I've got Bokurano Hours 1 to 11. To be honest, I didn't like this series at all. And Yuki, you can peck at it all you want because I don't like it. It's too angsty, too whiny, too unrealistic. I mean, you have middle school kids who have gone through some of the worst trauma I have ever seen in my life. I mean, what are the odds of these randomly chosen children all going through some kind of horrific trauma? It's just totally over angsty for me. But a lot of people like it, so if you like mechas and you like character-driven stories, I would at least give it a try.
Okay, and then I've got, I don't know if you can see these because they're in plastic. It's Dorohedoro 1 and 2. Haven't started it yet because I only have the first two. And now we come to my favorite series of all time, Goodnight Poon by Inio Asano. I'm missing 6 and 7 because 7 hasn't come out yet and 6 somehow got lumped into my pre-order with that, so I will get both of them at the same time, and then I will unwrap them all and read it all over again because it's that dang good. Ikigami 1, 2, 4, and 6. Will read when I get more. Jormungand 1, 2, 4, and 3. For some reason they're switched around. Okay. Again, we'll read that when I get more of it. The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. More like waste of time. Know what I mean? No, but really, if you've played the video game, then it's kind of pointless to read this unless you're just a huge fan. Master Keaton 1 to 9. More Naoki Urasawa goodness, except he didn't write it, he just drew it, but I mean, it's still pretty good. Next to that, I've got Monster 1 to 5. Need to get the rest. I have read the entire series, and it is without a doubt in my top 5 manga of all time. It's a psychological drama, it's a mystery, it's got a lot of murder and violence and that kind of stuff in it. It's really good. Check it out. Oko! Yoko! 1 and 2 by Fumi Yoshinaga. Will read when I get more. A lot of those I say that too because I got them for super cheap and I just haven't collected the rest of the series, so why read it now? I'm just gonna forget it later. Moving on. Terraform Mars 1 and 2. A lot of people really hate this series. I still haven't started it yet. Again, because I only have 1 and 2. Okay. Next up I have Pluto 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, and 8. I'm missing a few volumes because they are at my place of work. I was reading it, and honestly I dropped it for now. I don't think I was in the right state of mind to really enjoy it. Either that, or it's just not nearly as good as Urasawa's other works, or it just didn't appeal to me personally. But I will be picking it up again at some point and rereading the whole thing just to make sure that my first impressions were correct. Next up by Inio Asano, Solanin, and What a Wonderful World 1 and 2. Those are both complete. And they are both amazing. Check them out. Next to that I have Happiness by Shuzo Oshimi. One of my favorite mangakas. Happiness is, well, it's certainly not happy, but it is good. It's very enjoyable. If you know The Flowers of Evil and you've read that, you will love Happiness. Because they're by the same author and they follow the exact same plot structure. If you've read them both, you might know what I'm talking about, but Oshimi has a certain formula that he tends to repeat in all of his manga, that I've read at least. And it works, and if the formula works, why break it, you know? Then I've got Love and Lies, Volume 1. That is a new addition to my collection. Princess Jellyfish, 1 and 3, sent to me by Manga Hoarder. Thank you so much for sending these. I will get on them straight away. The manga. The anime was meh, so I'm not really sure why I bought this, and I have not read it. I've got Girls Last Tour 1 and 2. It's a great start to a potentially great series, so let's hope they keep it up. Sword Art Online. The first light novel. Don't know why this is still in my collection. Next up I've got Toyo Game 1 to 3. I read the first volume and I did not like it. So I'm kind of stuck in a dilemma here because there's only 3 volumes in the series and I have all of them, so I might as well just finish reading it, but I don't think it can really redeem itself. It's just kind of weak. Next up I've got some Yuri goodness, Citrus 1 and 2, which is a fairly decent Yuri series. My lesbian experience with loneliness. This is really popular right now. Still haven't read it. Secret of the Princess by Milk Morinaga. The same creator as Girlfriends. This one's pretty good. Variante Volume 1. It's supposed to be a horror manga. Lychee Light Club by Usamaru Furuya. I read this a long time ago. I think back when I was still in high school. And it really scared me a little bit. It's really creepy and really dark and it's kind of gross, honestly. But it's saying all of that, though, it's pretty good. So read it. 5 centimeters per second, the manga. I love the movie, and the manga does it justice. Dissolving Classroom by Junji Ito. I thought this was probably his worst work, but it's still good. It's still scary, so. A Girl on the Shore by Ennio Asano. More Ennio Asano goodness. A lot of people hated this because it's very gratuitous, and it is. It's middle schoolers having sex with each other for half of the book, but you gotta look past the sex, okay? You gotta look deeper than that. You gotta look between the sheets. Know what I'm saying? I'm an idiot. Then we got The God's Lie by Kaori Ozaki. Don't know why I had so much trouble with that name. The God's Lie. It's a 1-volume short story about 2 kids who do some stuff. I read it quite a while ago. I thought it was good, but not amazing. Tropic of the Sea by Satoshi Kon, the famous movie producer, director, yada yada. Tropic of the Sea is okay. Then we got Berserk by Kentaro Moira. By Kentaro Moira. Anyway, Berserk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, all the way up to 38. I'm missing a few here and there, but that's because they had the old spines and I got rid of them. I've been trying to replace all the old spines with these new spines that have the new Dark Horse logo. So they all match now and it looks really good. Berserk, everybody knows Berserk. It's a dark fantasy manga about a swordsman and some crazy stuff akin to the Red Wedding goes down around here, and that's why everybody likes it so much. So check it out if you like dark stuff. Then I've got Eden. It's an Endless World by Hiroki Endo, Volume 1. I have read the entire series, and it is easily in my top 5. It's amazing. I just don't have any of the other volumes because they're all going out of print, and I don't know if I want to own random volumes of the series or not, so I'm still debating that. Then I've got School Zone by Kanako Inuki. It's a horror manga, an older horror manga, very creepy. And then we got Crying Free Man, 1, 2, and 3. I'm missing, I think, the last 2. It's by the same guy who did Lone Wolf and Cubs, so classic goodness there. Then I've got Ohikoshi. It's a short story type single volume thing by the same person who did Blade of the Immortal. Then I've got Samurai Executioner, Omnibus 1 to 4. That's the complete series. Oh, I need to sit down. By, again, the same guy who did Lone Wolf and Cub. Got Octopus Girl 2 and 3. Another very creepy old horror manga. I'm missing the first volume, so I haven't read this one yet, but look at that. Creepy. Then Batum 1 to 10. I'm missing 9, it looks like. Batum is a really good series. It's a lot like Battle Royale, but I actually kind of enjoy this one more, honestly. I am a little farther than Volume 10, but I don't have the rest yet. Okay, next up, Sundome 2 to 7. I have the whole series. I have Volume 1. I'm just reading it right now. So I will give you my thoughts on that when I'm done. 7 Billion Needles, Volume 2. I don't know why that's in my collection. I think the rest of the series is out of print. And I will probably never have them, so. Then we've got Ajin, 1 to 9. I'm missing 7. I don't know why. It's a really good series. Lots of good action, interesting characters. It's got its flaws and its quirks, but overall, it's really good. I read through all of it in only a day or two, if that says anything, so. And then I've got Nichijou Volume 2, kind of a random pickup, and then I've got No Longer Human 1 to 3, one of my favorite series of all time. I read it many years ago, and I've read it many times since then. It's extremely dark, extremely sad, very messed up, full of drugs and sex and suicide, and it just fills me with so much happiness, you know? I'm getting tired already, guys. This is what having a full-time job and coming home to manga does to you. Okay. One of my favorite series, again, is The Flowers of Evil, Volume 1 to 10. I think that's complete. Wasn't there a Volume 11? I don't know. I thought there was a Volume 11. I thought I had it. Did it disappear in the move? Oh, for Christ's sake, it's right frickin' there. They're all out of order. What has happened? I'm sorry for that, guys. I just had a... I just looked like a complete moron there. Okay, Flowers of Evil, Volume 1 to 11. One of the best series ever. It's about exposing the perversion of humanity, if I had to summarize it in one sentence. There are no good characters in this manga. Everyone is a messed up, extremely messed up, psychotic person, and it's just full of craziness and redemption toward the end. It's beautiful. It's a masterpiece. Knights of Sidonia. These are out of order too. Jiminy Christmas. I'm missing one, but I've got 2 through 4 and then 11, 13, and 14. I will read it once I have it all. It's by Tsutomu Nihei again, and I'm expecting it to be awesome. Then I've got Attack on Titan 1 to 20. I'm missing the newest 2 volumes, but I am caught up online. And I don't care if I get hate for this. Attack on Titan is pretty freaking good. It's overrated, yeah. But I think it's been really good. I mean, it kind of suffered around here, but then around here, it gets really good again. So I'm excited to see how it's going to end. I think it will probably end soon. I don't think it'll go past 30 volumes. So if you've been hesitating on picking this up because you've heard so many people talking about it and that's kind of put you off, I would at least give it a try because I enjoy it and I've read a lot of manga. So next to that is something I should probably get rid of because I didn't enjoy it too much, and that's My Little Monster 1 to 3 by Robico. It's a shoujo about this guy who falls in love with this girl. Okay. Whew, okay. Had to take a short break and put the bird in her cage. So, I'm back. Okay. I got number 6. Yuki, please, shush. Number 6, 1 to 9, that's complete. It is a sci-fi yaoi manga, actually, which is interesting. And I don't read yaoi. I don't have any yaoi in my collection aside from this, I believe. But this was actually pretty good. I enjoyed it a lot. I think it's well worth your time if you like sci-fi dystopian style stories with 2 male characters who fall in love with each other. So I've got Noragami 1 to 8. I am missing 3 and 4 because I was reading them at my work. It's a pretty solid shonen series so far. Nothing too special that I have seen yet, but a lot of people really like it, and I think once I get further into it, I will like it as well. Next, I've got Parasite 1 to 7. I'm missing the last volume and have been missing the last volume for years for some reason. But I've read the whole thing and I really like it. It's a horror manga. Everyone should know what Parasite is by now. It had an anime recently. A horror manga about parasites that come down and infect humans, take over their bodies, and our main character is only partially infected, so he can fight the other parasites and save humanity. I've got A Silent Voice 1 and 4, kind of random. I have not read the series yet, but I will be picking up the box set that comes out later this year and giving it a read. And then I've got Whispered Words. It's a Yuri series. I only have this first volume. Then I've got Dreamin' Sun by the same creator as Orange, which I really liked. I haven't read Dreamin' Sun yet, but I'm hoping it's going to be just as good as Orange was. On the next shelf over, I've got some more Yuri here. I've got Gakuen Politsi by Milk Morinaga. I've only got the first volume. There are 2 of them, but I did not like the first one, so I did not buy the second one. This is Girlfriends, the complete series in 2 books. Girlfriends is probably considered the best Yuri manga ever made. It's a softer Yuri series, more realistic. It depicts 2 girls in high school who are best friends and they gradually fall in love with each other. There's not a lot of sex in it. It's not really focused on the sex aspect. It's more focused on how do we deal with this? Will our friends still accept us? Etc. So it's a more realistic portrayal of this type of relationship, and that's why I like it so much. Then by the same author again, it's Hana and Hina After School, 1 and 2. This is Milk Morinaga's new series. And then next to that is Kisses, Sighs, and Cherry Blossom Pink by the same author again. This is just like a short story collection. It was pretty good. Then I've got The Girl from the Other Side, Volume 1. That is a super popular book right now that I have not read yet. And then we have Orange, the complete series in 2 books. Orange is a story about time travel, kind of. Or just 2 different timelines that collide with each other, and it has to do with depression and suicide. So it's dark at times, but also romantic and sweet and funny. And I really like it. I think it's probably one of my favorites. Then I have Cross Game 1, 2, and 3 that is not complete, but it will be soon. So far, I have read the first volume and I really liked it. It's about baseball, obviously. But there's also a lot deeper going on with it. There is romance in it, and it is pretty sad, actually, from what I've read. Then I have Ranma Half. I will probably not finish that, honestly. And then Magi 1 to 5. I need to get more of that because Magi is supposed to be pretty good. I have 7th Garden, Volume 1. After Hours, Volume 1. A new Yuri manga, and then Assassination Classroom, Volume 1. I'm not a huge fan of Assassination Classroom. Next to that, I have Bakuman 1 to 10. And then down here, I have 11 to 20. That's complete. By the same creator as Death Note. Everyone should know of Death Note and Bakuman by now. Bakuman is probably my favorite of the 2. It's about 2 boys who come together. One's an artist and one's a writer, and they create manga together, and it's just their story of trying to achieve fame in the manga world. Really good. Classic stuff. Okay, then I have Claymore 1 to 8. It's about samurai, swordsman type women who fight demons. A lot like Berserk, but with a female main character. It's pretty good. Then I have Dead Man Wonderland 1, 2, 7, 8, 9, 11, 13. Pretty random there. I am about halfway through the series, and it's decent. It's not amazing. Then we have Death Note 1 to 12. That's complete. Death Note is a classic. Death Note is really good up until a certain point, and then it kind of falls off. But it's still worth reading, especially if you're new to manga. This should be one of your first reads. And then I have Drifting Classroom 1 to 11. It's a horror manga, and I think it was written in the 70s or 80s. Just good classic horror. It's one of my favorite horror series, and I think it deserves to be read. Then we have Haikyuu 1 to 14. I think that's up to date, although volume 15 or 16 might be out by now. They come out really fast. It's about volleyball. It's a lot of fun. Everyone's loving it right now, so I would recommend reading it. Then I have Hikaru no Go 1 to 3 by the same artist who did Death Note and Bakuman, but a different author. It is a sports manga about a board game, which is interesting.
I need to get the rest of that so I can read the whole series. Next to that is Hunter x Hunter 1 to 5. Definitely need to get more of that. I recently read volumes 1 to 5 and I loved them. I read a little bit further online as well, but I'm not sure where I am. Either way, I need to get more of it and catch up to where it is now, because out of all of the shonen manga that are being released currently, Hunter x Hunter or Hunter x Hunter, I think is definitely one of the best. Then over here we have Food Wars 1 to 3, Jocko the Galactic Patrolman by Akira Toriyama, same creator as Dragon Ball, Kuroko's Basketball, the first omnibus, 1 and 2, and then Nisekoi, 1 to 5. The reason I skipped over all of those is because I'm not huge into any of them, but I know that they have big cult followings, so if you're interested in shonen manga, Food Wars is about food, Kuroko's Basketball is obviously about basketball, and Nisekoi is a romance shonen, so we have something for everybody there. One Punch Man 1 and 2, awesome series, awesome manga, awesome anime, I need to get more of it. Platinum End 1 to 3 by the same creator as Bakuman and Death Note. I was expecting great things from this one. I caught up to where they are currently online, and I just gotta say, guys, it ain't good. It ain't looking good. Next to that, I have Psychono. It's an older Viz title. It's a shonen, or it might be a seinen, but it's about a cyborg girl, so if you're into robots and cyborgs and stuff like that, definitely check this one out. It's fairly good. Next to that, I have Slam Dunk 1 to 10. I need to get the rest of the series so I can read it all, but it is a basketball manga, considered to be one of the greatest manga of all time. And down in the very bottom in the darkness here, I have Yu-Gi-Oh! 1 and 2. Classic nostalgia there. Next to that, we have more nostalgia. Yu Yu Hakusho, I almost have the complete series, I'm just missing a few volumes. I grew up with Yu Yu Hakusho, so of course I love it. And then I have Dawn of the Arcana, 1 to 13, that's complete. It is a shoujo manga, a shoujo fantasy manga, about a girl who is married to the prince of an opposing kingdom and how that causes troubles and conflict between the two families who oppose each other. High School Debut, 2 to 13. I'm only missing volume 1. It's another shoujo manga about high school. I have Kimi ni Todoke, volumes 1 and 2, a popular shoujo manga, again about high schoolers, but I haven't read this one yet. And then I have Ottoman 1 and 2. It's about a boy who is into girly things. Aside from that, I don't really know much about it. Then I have Sand Chronicles 2 and then 1 to 5. I don't know why I have 2 copies of 2 here, but I have not read that one yet. It's supposed to be a very good shoujo manga, though. I have X2, another manga given to me by Manga Hoarder. I still haven't read it yet, though. And then I have my Japanese manga. So I have Heat, volumes 1 to 5. I have volumes 7 to 11 of Homunculus, which is a psychological manga kind of like Goodnight Poon Poon and The Flowers of Evil. The art in here is fantastic, actually. It's very realistic. It's a very dark series, psychological, torture. It's about a guy who drills a hole in his head, basically, to try to achieve, like, spiritual powers or something, and he starts to see demons in other people. So there's that. And then I have Future Diary 1 to 12, complete in Japanese. I used to be obsessed with the series, which is why I have the whole manga. It's not the best, but it brings me joy. Okay, and then to wrap things up, I have Survival 1 to 4. This is an older Japanese manga about survival, obviously. I have, honestly, I can't remember what this is called. That's really sad, but it's volume 20. What is this called? I read the entire series and I can't remember what this is called. Hey, if you guys know what this manga is called, let me know. It's a newer manga. I think it just finished publishing. I read it all. It was very good. It's a shonen. I would recommend that you read it if I knew what it was called. This is the problem with having Japanese manga and not speaking or reading Japanese. You just have no idea what these things are on your shelf. But this was a good one. If you know what this is called, hit me up in the comments. And then I have Wonder 3, book 1 and 2 by Osamu Tezuka in Japanese. And that's it, guys. That's my whole collection, and I'm so tired. I could just fall asleep right here and take a long, long nap. Whew. But yeah, look at all that manga. I had a lot more at one point, but some of them are still in storage from the move, and some of them I'm going to sell or have already given away to one of my friends. I gave one of my friends every single volume of Naruto that I owned, so that was quite a chunk out of my collection. And I still have room for growth, so yay! But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day. I hope that no legal troubles befall you and that your days are full of happiness and manga and anime and stuff. If you like this video, hit the subscribe button. It helps me. And like this video because I need all the self-confidence that I can get. Oh. And also say goodbye to Yuki. Bye, Yuki. Say bye.
Fuck off and die.
She says goodbye.